Hey, what's up guys? Sloth King here. So from the title of the video, you already know what's going on. So the Supra's oil pump is not looking too good, especially on highway driving. Around, 3,000 RPM, I was getting about 24 PSI, which is not good, because the minimum oil pressure at that RPM should be about 36 PSI. And after doing some research and looking at some old pictures, I found out that Toyota made two oil pumps for the Supra. I didn't know that. Did you? Probably, but I didn't. They have the non-turbo and the turbo oil pump. And looks like the oil pump that I took out of the engine previously was a non-turbo oil pump. So the previous owner was already inside of that engine and replaced the oil pump with a non-turbo pump. That's weird. Well, that's interesting to find out. I wish I would have looked at that prior and would have been smarter. But I guess hindsight's 2020. So anyway, I ordered a used OEM oil pump off of eBay. It's in okay condition. The tolerances on the inside, like the backlash on the gear, is actually within spec, so that's nice. But it seems like there's a lot of like old oil that's just like accrued on it, and it seems like it's been sitting for a little bit. So I have it sitting inside of this bucket with a bunch of degreaser that I've been soaking for 2 days. So we're going to go ahead and clean those parts. I'm going to go through and take apart the whole entire oil pump just to clean like the inside of the shaft, make sure that's all good. And it seems like it's rotating a little bit on the stiffer side. I just think that's because it's old oil that's stuck on there. So we're going to go ahead and give it a good cleaning. And one other thing, I found this company called Line to Line Coatings. They coat pistons, like piston skirts and a bunch of different stuff. And one of the other things that they coat is oil pumps, or any kind of pumps actually. There's like this moly powder coating kind of thing. It's like a I forget what they call it. I'll just link it down in the description below so you can check out their website. But what it basically does is they put this coating on it and it restores any kind of worn clearance issues that you've had back to a more factory-like spec. So I tried contacting them today. I did not hear anything back yet, so I will keep trying to contact them to get pricing info and see how much this is going to cost. Hopefully it's not too much, but I would like to send that out and get it coated before I throw it inside the car. You know, just peace of mind. Why not? So that's on the agenda today. We will start tearing that thing apart, cleaning it, and then whenever I hear back from the company and send it out and I get the pump back in, we will check out and see what the coating looks like. But anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Alright guys, so I just got done rinsing all of this stuff off. Yeah, it looks way cleaner after sitting in here for a few days. I have a few things to start cleaning this stuff with. I have a nylon brush, which I'd probably just use the brass one since we're using on steel. And then I have a couple things to take it apart. But before we do that, I'm going to test all the tolerances one more time and then write them down so that way I can send it whenever I send this off to line-to-line coatings. I can tell them what the current tolerances are. So that's just something I want to do before I take apart this whole thing. First things first, I will start doing all that, and I'm probably just going to go in and wipe all this stuff off first. So let's start doing that. This is actually cleaning up pretty easily. I also have this Scotch Brite that's pretty used, so it's not going to be as coarse. but I would recommend using this 000 steel wool if you're going to try to clean anything to make it like a polish or, you know, whatever. You don't want to use anything that will cause like deep scratches. But I'm going to try to get in here with probably just a piece of this. Try to just rip that. There we go. You can do this. It's not like really dirty in there. I just want to make sure, you know, it's all clean. Because there is a oil passage right here. We need to make sure that this will be pretty clear. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but that actually looks pretty good. And I'm just going to run a rag through it just to pick up any excess stuff that's left behind. There we go. Actually looks pretty good. Yep, so I'm going to keep this gear exactly where it is. And then let's start measuring some of the tolerances. So I don't have any of my assembly lube, so I'm just going to get a little bit of some backup engine oil just to lubricate all that good stuff. All right, so I just had to clean off this shaft and then clean the inside out a little bit more. And then I applied just a little bit of oil, and now it goes on just fine. And it spins better. All right, so let's go ahead and check the backlash right here between these two gears. I did this in the previous video, the whole oil pump thing. But yeah, so you're gonna put a feeler gauge here. You're gonna on the TSRM, it'll tell you like the spec that it should be within. So you check that. And then on this part of the housing, on the drive shaft gear right here, you're going to check the clearance between the wall and the gear itself, like the end of it. Mark that down. And then you check the clearance through the top part here, like with how flat it is. Like I have a piece of aluminum down there that I'm just going to lay across. So after you lay the piece of aluminum across like the top part of the housing, the gear over here, you're going to try to put a feeler gauge and see which one fits through and make sure it's within the spec that's in the manual. And I think that was all the things that you check for the gears itself. Then for this thing, this little sliding piece right up here, that this is actually stuck. So this is gonna be fun to try to get out and clean up in here. I might reuse the D&J top piece because I know that is brand new, it's within spec. So if I can't get the cover to like this relief valve right here, if I can't get that to move, then I will just go ahead and use the D&J one, because that one has no issues. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and measure all these, and then I'll come back with what I acquired. All right, so I just got done checking all the clearances. The body clearance is 0.102, the backlash is 0.584, and my side clearance is about 0.063 millimeters. That's all in millimeters, and everything is actually within spec. So the standard clearance for the body is the highest is 0.175 millimeters. So we landed right at 0.102, which is at the right at the bottom. It's actually a little bit below the standard clearance. So I'm pretty sure. Oops, I just dropped that. So I'm pretty sure since my feeler gauge wouldn't flex as much, it is probably right at 0.105. So that is actually pretty sick. The gear backlash, it's 0.5 to 0.6 millimeters. We fell pretty much right in the middle. Well, a little bit above the middle at 0.584. So that's awesome. And I actually had to like push it in there for it to fit. And the side clearance 0.063, it is like halfway in between. So we are good on there. So all the clearances are actually pretty solid. Once I send it out to the line-to-line coatings, the clearances will be a bit tighter, which is great. That's what we want. Now, the thing that I need to do, this relief valve, if you look up here, it says inspect relief valve. Coat the valve with engine oil and check that it falls smoothly into the valve hole by its own weight, which is this. And right here, you can see that it is just stuck at the bottom. And I tried pushing on it, and now I have this 90-degree angle flathead set up. So I have it in my vise, and it can fit right through the backside here, which this makes it so that it pushes out. So what I'm going to do is just hold that there and then hit it with a hammer. But we're not going to hit it with just any hammer. It's going to be a dead blow so I don't ruin the metal. So let's just go ahead and see if it taps out. Hey, there we go. That's easier than I was expecting. So now I have to push this thing out. There is a lot of crud in here. Wow, look at that. Can you see what's in there? No, but it just looks gross. So now with that clean, well, with this out, we can go ahead and clean all of this up. So I'm just gonna do the same thing as earlier, you know, just hit it with a wire brush and then go over it with the stainless steel 000. Gonna do the same thing with here, and then we're gonna coat it with some engine oil and see if it falls in by itself. So I will be back when all of that is clean. All right, I got this all nice and cleaned. This is nice and clean as well. Feels pretty smooth. Let's go ahead and just put a little bit of engine oil on the outside of this stuff. All right, and let's see if it just drops down by its own weight. Yep. Is it gonna come back? Come on. All right, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to take the D&J one out, and then we're gonna see if the D&J one falls in smoothly. If it does, then I'm just gonna use that one. All right, here's the D&J valve. They appear to be the same size. I don't know why there's like this cutout here. Maybe to retain oil. It's a possibility. So let's go ahead and put a little bit of oil on here. And then let's drop it in here and see how smoothly it falls. It falls nice and smooth. Come on. Why are you stuck? Maybe the inside of here is not cleaned 100%. Thought I did a good job on it. All right, let's try the OE one again. Coat it in oil. Oh, there we go. Yeah, seems to be pretty good. Okay, let's try the D&J one again. It's weird, it's like it's getting stuck at the top. And let's see how it slides down the D&J cover. Okay, it's not sliding by its own weight. Am I doing something wrong? Oh! Oh, that's a lot. Whoopsie. Ah! Alright, oh, we're just going to do this. See how well it slides down there? Okay. It's not doing it. Right, this one. Okay. Oh no! Alright, let's go back to the factory one real quick. Okay, that slides down by its own weight. Let's do the D&J. Seems like this one's having a little bit of difficulty sliding. I don't like that. I don't like how this keeps getting stuck right there. Now let's go ahead and just take apart this oil pump. All right, now time to take off. There's like this little retaining pin. Well, it's not really a pin. It's a like a washer. I forget the name of it. I don't know why I'm spacing that. But all right, guys. So next, to take this whole shaft out and take this gear off, there is it's pretty much like a snap ring, but without the two teeth to go into and separate it. You can see it like right there. So we just really need to, I don't know, get like something small, flat to like kind of push it aside and take it off. And try not to deform it because we need to put it back on. And once we take that off, we'll be able to just slide this whole gear off and then take the shaft out. You really want to have a vise for this, ideally. Makes it a lot easier to do. But first, I'm going to use this and just try to, yeah, see, if you just do this, it's just going to spin. So what I tried doing on the D&J pump is just use, oh no, where did this go? Man, did this really fall out? So usually you'd use like some snap ring pliers and then there would be like two holes and then you just separate it. But what I did on the D&J pump was just kind of try to separate it a little bit as best as I could. Like that. It's very tricky. And then what I'm going to do is probably just like put a pick in it. So I'm just going to try to put some pressure on it, separate it a little bit. I know there's an actual tool for it, but I don't have the proper tool. Okay, so I have that in place. You want to get pliers. Then we're going to lift it up just like that. And now we can grab it with the pliers. And just slowly work around it. Woo! We got that out. Let's go ahead and put that in a safe spot. Oh, that was nerve-wracking. So now this gear should come right up. Ah, nice, nice. And then there's a little woodruff key right here. We're going to take this out. I'll use like a pick or something. Just pop it out of place. Oh, don't lose that. Put that in there. And now we can go ahead and pop this whole shaft out. Woo! Look at that. Beautiful. Yeah, there we go. It wasn't too bad. Now we can go ahead and just clean this whole thing off. Then we can go ahead and clean out the body a bit. See how there's some gunk inside of there? We're going to clean all that out. And then we should be good to reassemble it all. Actually, we're not going to reassemble it. We're going to keep it like this because I do have to send this off to the coating place. So we're just going to clean it all. Alrighty guys, so I got everything all cleaned up, and it all looks pretty good. It actually looks very good, to be honest. So while it's just sitting here, I decided to throw a little bit of WD-40 on all of the metal parts, just, you know, so there's no surface rust that's going to form on it. But this is how it looks. Came out pretty good. The inside is pretty clean. I got it as clean as I could. And yeah, not too bad. Alright, so while I wait for line-to-line coatings to get back to me, I guess I will just conclude this video here. It sucks that I have to go through and do this whole thing over again, but oh well. I mean, better than the engine blowing up, because I don't want to starve all the bearings and stuff. But yeah, so in the next video, hopefully I will have this pump sent out and have it coated in the powder coating, and then we will throw it in the Supra and see how well the oil pressure is afterwards. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I will catch you guys on the next ride.